Your mindset is the blueprint of your destiny. Every day we face choices, opportunities, and challenges. But before we can make the right decisions or take the right actions, we must first ensure that our minds are aligned with our purpose. Today, I want to speak about improving your daily mindset and how this simple shift can revolutionize your life. The first thing to recognize is that your mindset shapes everything. It's the lens through which you see the world and the foundation upon which you build your life. And the best part, you get to choose your mindset. Every day, you have the opportunity to decide how you will think, how you will respond to life, and how you will see challenges. We must understand that growth is not comfortable. Too often we crave comfort, but comfort zones breed stagnation. A mindset that is constantly focused on growth will push you beyond what you thought was possible. Growth comes when we step into the unknown, when we embrace change, and when we push ourselves past our limits. It's time to stop fearing discomfort and instead embrace it as a sign that you are on the right path to progress. And speaking of change, let me say this. Change is not your enemy. It is your greatest opportunity. The world is changing every day, and it is in those moments of change that we find the greatest chances to grow, adapt, and advance. But it all starts with how you think about change. A mindset that views change as a threat will always resist. But a mindset that sees change as opportunity will always advance. There's a discipline to positive thinking. It's not just about wishing things were better or hoping for the best. It's about a daily, disciplined practice of focusing on the good, even when the world around you seems uncertain. In those moments of challenge, you must actively train your mind to see possibilities, to focus on solutions, and to trust in your capacity to overcome. But let me tell you, one of the greatest tools to shift your mindset is gratitude. Gratitude takes your focus off of what's missing and places it on what you already have. It's a reminder that no matter how difficult life may seem, there is always something to be thankful for. When you begin and end your day with gratitude, your mind shifts from a state of scarcity to a state of abundance. And in that shift, you begin to attract more of what you are thankful for. You must also visualize your success. The mind cannot differentiate between what's real and what's vividly imagined. If you can see it in your mind, you can achieve it in reality. Take a moment each day to close your eyes and picture your success. See yourself living the life you desire, and allow that vision to guide your thoughts and actions. But none of this works without purpose. When you understand your purpose, everything falls into place. Purpose clarifies your decisions, your actions, and your mindset. When you know why you are here, every choice you make aligns with that higher calling, and your thoughts become clearer, sharper, and more focused. As you move forward, remember that your environment and the people around you matter. Surround yourself with those who inspire, challenge, and elevate you. Limit your exposure to negativity, for it will only serve to cloud your mind and hinder your progress. Choose your associations wisely. Take full responsibility for your mind. It is your most valuable asset. No one else can control it but you. You must guard it, nurture it, and develop it every single day. If you want to transform your life, start by transforming your mind. In closing, remember this. Your daily mindset is the foundation for everything you wish to achieve. The quality of your life will always be a reflection of the quality of your thinking. So take control of your thoughts. Cultivate a mindset that seeks growth. Embrace the challenges of change and believe in your power to create the life you deserve. Your mindset is the most powerful force shaping your destiny. It is not just a passive state of mind, but an active, dynamic force that influences every part of your life. How you think, how you perceive the world, and how you respond to life's challenges is all determined by the mindset you carry. It's important to understand that mindset is not something you are born with. It's something you can choose, develop, and refine over time. What you believe shapes how you behave, and your actions over time shape your future. The power of your mindset is so profound that it dictates the direction of your life. Your beliefs about your abilities, your potential, and your future will create the path you walk. This is why it is so crucial to guard and nurture your mind daily. The key to mastering your mindset is to recognize that your thoughts are the seeds from which your destiny grows. Every thought you have, whether positive or negative, is planting something in your mind that will eventually manifest into your reality. If you continuously think in terms of limitation, fear, and negativity, you will attract those same things into your life. But if you choose to think in terms of possibility, opportunity, and strength, you will begin to see those things show up in your life. It's a law of attraction, not just in the spiritual sense, but in the practical sense as well. What you focus on expands. What you allow to dominate your thoughts will eventually dominate your life. Our thoughts are often influenced by our past experiences, upbringing, and environment, but they do not have to be defined by these. At any point in time, we have the power to change the way we think. This is why mindset is so critical. It is not just about thinking happy thoughts or having a positive attitude, but about actively choosing to see opportunities, to rise above adversity, and to stay focused on growth. Your mindset determines how you respond to challenges. Life is full of obstacles, difficulties, and unforeseen events. But your response to these challenges is what will determine the outcome. Some people, when faced with hardship, see only defeat, while others see it as a stepping stone, a lesson, or even a blessing in disguise. Both reactions come from different mindsets. One person's mindset might lead them to give up, while the other's mindset leads them to rise up. The same situation can lead to different outcomes simply based on the mindset of the individual involved. The way you respond to adversity directly influences the trajectory of your life. People with a mindset of growth, resilience, and determination will tend to view challenges as opportunities to learn and evolve. They see each setback not as a failure, but as an essential part of the process that leads to success. Conversely, those who have a fixed mindset might see these challenges as insurmountable roadblocks. In fact, they may give up entirely when things get tough. This is why developing a mindset focused on growth, resilience, and adaptability is key to achieving greatness. Your ability to persevere, to adapt, and to learn from failure is directly connected to how you think about and approach life's challenges. Your mindset also plays a pivotal role in the way you view yourself and your potential. If you think you are not capable or deserving of success, you will act in ways that reinforce that belief. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not good enough, you will limit your ability to achieve greatness. However, if you cultivate a mindset that believes in your own potential and abilities, you will begin to take actions that reflect those beliefs. The way you view your self-worth and your ability to succeed will drive the way you approach your goals, your work, and your relationships. When you believe you are worthy of success, you will open yourself up to the opportunities that come your way, and you will have the confidence to pursue them with conviction. The power of your mindset is also reflected in your daily habits. The choices you make each day, how you spend your time, the people you interact with, the thoughts you dwell on, are all a direct result of your mindset. If you have a mindset focused on growth and success, your daily actions will reflect that. You will take intentional steps toward your goals, build healthy habits, and seek out opportunities to improve. On the other hand, if your mindset is focused on limitation and fear, your daily actions will reflect that as well. You might procrastinate, avoid challenges, or remain stagnant because your mindset is holding you back from taking bold actions. The mindset you adopt will influence how you interact with others. If you have a mindset of abundance, you'll be more likely to support and encourage others, recognizing that their success doesn't diminish your own. A mindset of abundance believes that there is enough for everyone and that we are all capable of achieving greatness in our own unique ways. Conversely, a mindset of scarcity might make you feel threatened by others' success and lead to competition and jealousy. The mindset you adopt determines the energy you bring to every relationship and interaction in your life. It affects how you collaborate, how you support others, and how you allow others to support you. At the end of the day, the mindset you choose shapes every aspect of your life. It determines what you see, what you believe, and ultimately what you create. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the creator of your destiny. The thoughts you think today will become the reality you live tomorrow. So, take control of your mindset. Cultivate a mindset of possibility, growth, and resilience. Focus on what you want to create, not what you fear, and watch how your life transforms. Your destiny is in your hands, and it begins with the power of your mind. The power of choice is one of the most profound gifts that we possess as human beings. Every single day, we are presented with a multitude of decisions, both big and small, and each one holds the potential to shape the course of our lives. In many ways, life is a series of choices. The direction we take is determined by how we decide to respond to the situations we face. The truth is, while we cannot always control the circumstances that come our way, we always have the power to choose how we react to them. This is where our true power lies, in our ability to choose. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that our circumstances define us, that our situations are beyond our control, or that we are powerless in the face of challenges. But the reality is that no matter how difficult life may seem, we always retain the ability to choose. We can choose how we think, how we feel, how we respond, and how we act. Each choice we make is a reflection of who we are and what we value. It's in the moments when we feel most stuck, when the path ahead seems unclear, that we must remember that even then, we still have the power to decide. We have the power to choose to move forward, to change our perspective, or to change our course altogether. Choosing is not always easy. At times, it requires courage, strength, and a deep sense of self-awareness. Often, we are faced with difficult decisions that challenge us, that force us to confront our fears, doubts, and insecurities. The easy choice is not always the right one, and sometimes the choices that demand the most from us are the ones that lead to the greatest growth. But even in those moments of difficulty, our power to choose remains intact. When we embrace that power, we begin to take ownership of our lives. We stop being passive participants in our own journey and become active creators of our future. Every choice we make has consequences, whether it's choosing to take action towards our goals or choosing to procrastinate, whether it's choosing to nurture our relationships or neglect them. Every decision has an impact. And while we may not always be able to predict or control the outcomes of our choices, we can always choose with intention. When we make decisions based on our values, our purpose, and our vision for the future, we are aligning ourselves with the life we want to create. It's important to recognize that not all choices are made consciously Often we make choices out of habit, out of convenience, or without fully understanding the long-term effects. We may find ourselves on autopilot, reacting to life rather than actively shaping it. This is why it is essential to become more mindful of the choices we make. We must take the time to reflect on what truly matters to us and ensure that our choices align with our deepest desires and purpose. When we make intentional choices, we begin to take control of our destiny rather than letting life happen to us. In addition to making decisions that are aligned with our values, we must also be willing to take responsibility for our choices. Owning our decisions, both the good and the bad, empowers us to learn, grow, and evolve. When we shift from a mindset of blame and excuses to one of accountability, we reclaim our power. We stop seeing ourselves as victims of circumstance and recognize that we have the ability to choose how we respond to every situation. One of the most empowering aspects of choice is that it allows us to grow. With each decision, we learn more about who we are, what we want, and how we want to show up in the world. Even when we make mistakes, those choices provide us with valuable lessons that can shape our future. Growth does not happen in a vacuum. It happens when we step outside our comfort zones and make decisions that challenge us. These choices stretch us, test us, and ultimately make us stronger and more resilient. It's also important to realize that the power of choice is not just about individual decisions. It's about the collective choices we make as a society. Every day we are presented with choices that impact not just our own lives, but the lives of others. Whether it's how we treat people, how we contribute to our communities, or how we care for the environment, our choices have a ripple effect. We are all interconnected, and the choices we make today shape the world we leave behind for future generations. Recognizing this interconnectedness can inspire us to make more conscious, compassionate choices that benefit not only ourselves, but the greater good. The power of choice is truly transformative. It gives us the freedom to shape our lives, to create our reality, and to define who we want to be. It reminds us that no matter how challenging life may become, we always have the ability to choose our path. The key is to make choices that are in alignment with our higher purpose, to choose with intention, and to recognize that each decision is a building block that creates the life we ultimately experience. When we embrace the power of choice, we take control of our destiny. And we begin to live with purpose and direction, knowing that every choice we make brings us one step closer to the life we desire. Growth is the essence of life, the driving force behind all achievement, and the key to realizing our full potential. It is easy to fall into the trap of seeking comfort because comfort feels good in the moment. It offers ease, safety, and a temporary sense of relief from the pressures and challenges of life. But growth rarely, if ever, occurs in the realm of comfort. Comfort is a place where we settle, where we stop striving, and where we stop challenging ourselves to become better, stronger, and more capable. If we choose to focus on comfort, we risk stagnation, the slow death of our potential, our progress. The path to growth is never easy. It is not always enjoyable, and it often involves stepping outside of our comfort zones. It requires pushing beyond what is familiar, what is easy, and what feels safe. Growth happens when we face adversity, when we challenge ourselves to learn new skills, to stretch our limits, and to embrace discomfort. This discomfort, while difficult in the moment, is a powerful teacher. It teaches us resilience, adaptability, and the ability to persevere even when things are hard. Without discomfort, there can be no progress. If we constantly seek comfort, we inadvertently avoid the very experiences that will help us become the people we are meant to be. We must shift our focus from avoiding discomfort to embracing it. This doesn't mean seeking out hardship for hardship's sake, but rather understanding that growth happens when we take on challenges that push us beyond our current capacity. Growth requires us to do the things that scare us, to take risks, and to put in the hard work that often goes unnoticed. It requires us to be uncomfortable in order to become comfortable with new, better versions of ourselves. The most successful people in life did not achieve their success by staying in their comfort zones. They did not avoid challenges, nor did they shy away from situations that made them uncomfortable. Instead, they leaned into the discomfort, embraced the uncertainty, and used those moments to grow. They understood that growth doesn't come without effort, and that every great accomplishment begins with the courage to step into discomfort and make it a catalyst for change. Focusing on growth means being willing to fail, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. The fear of failure often keeps us rooted in comfort, paralyzing us from taking action. But the truth is, failure is not something to fear. It is a necessary part of growth. Every failure is a lesson, every mistake is an opportunity to learn, and every setback is a chance to grow stronger and wiser. If we never fail, we never grow. The greatest achievers are not those who have never fallen, but those who have fallen and then gotten back up with more knowledge, strength, and determination than before. Growth also requires patience. It's tempting to want quick results, to seek immediate gratification, and to take shortcuts. But real growth, the kind that lasts, takes time. It requires consistency, effort, and persistence over the long haul. The process of growth is often slow and steady, and it requires the discipline to stay the course even when progress is not immediately visible. Focusing on growth means committing to the long-term vision even when the road seems long and the destination far away. It's about understanding that every small step forward, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is part of the journey toward becoming the person you aspire to be. When we focus on growth, we shift our mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. We stop asking ourselves, what can I get away with? And start asking, how can I become better? Instead of looking for ways to avoid challenges, we seek them out. We embrace the process of learning, evolving, and becoming more than we were yesterday. This mindset fuels progress, and it turns obstacles into opportunity. Every challenge we face becomes a stepping stone toward greater growth. And every moment of discomfort becomes a signal that we are on the path to becoming the best version of ourselves. Growth is a continuous process. It doesn't end once we reach a certain level of success or achieve a specific goal. Growth is an ongoing journey that requires us to continually stretch, expand, and evolve. As we grow, new challenges will arise, new opportunities will emerge, and new levels of discomfort will appear. But rather than viewing these challenges as obstacles, we begin to see them as invitations to grow further. The moment we stop growing is the moment we begin to stagnate. The key to long-term success and fulfillment is an unwavering commitment to ongoing growth, no matter where we are in life. When we focus on growth, we embrace the idea that our potential is limitless. There's always room for improvement, always a new skill to master, and always a new height to reach. The more we focus on growing, the more we expand our capacity to do, to achieve, and to become. Growth is not just about achieving external success, but about evolving internally, becoming more resilient, more focused, and more aligned with our purpose. It is a continuous process of self-discovery. where we uncover new strengths, new abilities, and new perspectives that shape who we are and what we contribute to the world. Growth is what gives our lives meaning. It is what drives us to keep moving forward, to keep striving, and to keep improving. It's the fuel that keeps our passions alive, that ignites our creativity, and that propels us toward our greatest achievements. If we choose to focus on growth, we choose to live a life of purpose, fulfillment, and unlimited potential. And while the road may be filled with challenges and discomfort, the rewards on the other side are well worth the effort. Change is an inevitable part of life, and it is also one of the most powerful opportunities for growth and transformation. Too often we resist change, clinging to what is familiar and comfortable, because the unknown feels uncertain and at times intimidating. However, the reality is that change, when embraced with the right mindset, becomes one of the most potent forces for progress and success. The way we perceive and respond to change can either propel us forward or hold us back. Instead of fearing change, we should see it as a door opening to new possibilities, new growth, and new opportunities. When we learn to embrace change as an opportunity, we shift our focus from what is lost to what can be gained. Every change, whether it's a new job, a move to a different city, a shift in our personal circumstances, or even a change in our relationships, carries the potential for new experiences, new learning, and new paths. Change challenges us to step outside of our comfort zones, to adapt, and to become more resourceful and resilient. It forces us to confront our fears, to question our assumptions, and to innovate in ways we never thought possible. In essence, change pushes us to become better versions of ourselves, capable of achieving things we might never have considered before. One of the key aspects of embracing change is understanding that it often brings with it a sense of discomfort. It's easy to resist change because it disrupts our routines and demands that we adjust to unfamiliar circumstances. But this discomfort is exactly what fosters growth. If everything stayed the same, there would be no room for improvement. Growth happens when we are stretched beyond our current abilities. And that stretching can only happen when we face new challenges. By seeing change as an opportunity to grow, we stop fearing the discomfort and instead start welcoming it as a sign that we are evolving and progressing toward our goals. In every moment of change, there is an opportunity for reinvention. Change allows us to let go of outdated beliefs, practices, or ways of doing things that no longer serve us. It encourages us to reimagine our future and to redefine who we are and what we want out of life. When we are confronted with change, we are given the chance to pivot, to reassess our goals, and to adjust our direction. If we are open to it, change offers a fresh start, a chance to break free from the patterns that have held us back, and to take bold steps toward a brighter, more fulfilling future. The key is not to resist the urge to stay where we are, but to embrace the fluidity of life and take advantage of the opportunities change presents. Another powerful aspect of embracing change is that it encourages innovation. When we encounter a new challenge, the old methods may no longer work, and that forces us to think creatively. Change sparks new ideas, new solutions, and fresh perspectives. It can lead to breakthroughs in the way we think, the way we approach problems, and the way we interact with others. Those who embrace change are often the ones who innovate, who create new opportunities, and who pave the way for others to follow. When we allow change to push us out of our comfort zone, we tap into our creativity and discover new ways to achieve success. The beauty of embracing change is that it often leads to unexpected opportunities. We may not always see the full picture when change first appears, and the immediate impact might seem negative or challenging. But as time passes and we adjust to the new circumstances, we often realize that what appeared to be a setback was actually a setup for something greater. Change has a way of bringing opportunities we could never have planned for. And often, those opportunities are better than what we originally had in mind. By embracing change, we open ourselves up to possibilities we could never have anticipated. And in doing so, we allow life to surprise us in the best possible way. Embracing change as an opportunity fosters resilience. Life is constantly changing, and the ability to adapt is crucial for long-term success. The more we accept and work with change, the more we develop the capacity to bounce back from adversity. Instead of seeing challenges as insurmountable obstacles, we begin to view them as stepping stones on the journey to success. The more we adapt to change, the more we build emotional and mental resilience, equipping ourselves with the strength and confidence needed to face whatever comes our way. In the professional world, embracing change is often the difference between success and stagnation. Industries evolve, technology advances, and new trends emerge that disrupt established norms. Those who resist change find themselves left behind, while those who embrace it stay ahead of the curve. Embracing change opens up the possibility of new skills, new roles, and new career paths that may not have been on our radar before. It's important to see change not as a threat to our job security or identity, but as a gateway to new opportunities for growth, learning, and advancement. On a personal level, embracing change can help us develop more fulfilling relationships. As we change, we evolve, and sometimes that means the people we surround ourselves with must also evolve. Embracing change in relationships means being open to growth, both individually and collectively. It allows us to let go of toxic patterns, make room for healthier connections, and create deeper, more meaningful bonds with others. Relationships are fluid, and embracing this fluidity allows us to build connections that can withstand the tests of time and circumstance. By embracing change as an opportunity, we stop seeing it as something to fear or resist and start seeing it as the natural part of life that it truly is. Change is not something that happens to us, it is something that happens for us. Every change brings with it the chance to grow, to innovate, and to create the life we truly desire. When we embrace change, we unlock new levels of possibility, resilience, and success. Change is not the enemy, it is the gateway to the future we are meant to build. Positive thinking is not just a fleeting thought or a temporary state of mind. It is a discipline, a conscious practice that requires effort, intention, and commitment. It is easy to think positively when things are going well, when life is smooth and comfortable. But the true power of positive thinking emerges in the face of adversity, challenges, and uncertainty. It is in those moments when negativity and doubt threaten to take over that the discipline of positive thinking becomes a powerful tool for transformation. Positive thinking is not about ignoring the realities of life or pretending that challenges don't exist. It is about choosing to focus on solutions, possibilities, and opportunities instead of dwelling on problems, limitations, or what's going wrong. It is about training your mind to see the potential in every situation, even in the most difficult circumstances. This discipline requires us to acknowledge the difficulties we face, but to consciously choose to respond with optimism, hope, and resilience, rather than with defeat or despair. At its core, positive thinking is a mindset that must be nurtured and cultivated every day. It is easy to fall into negative patterns of thought, especially when life becomes overwhelming or unpredictable. But by making positive thinking a daily practice, we begin to rewire our brains, creating new neural pathways that lead us to focus on the positive rather than the negative. Over time, this shift in thinking can have a profound impact on our attitudes, emotions, and behaviors. To develop the discipline of positive thinking, we must first become aware of our thought patterns. Many of us go through life on autopilot, allowing negative thoughts to creep in without even realizing it. We must train ourselves to be mindful of our thoughts, to observe when negativity starts to take hold, and to consciously shift our focus toward more constructive thoughts. This requires awareness and presence, the ability to pause and choose our thoughts rather than simply reacting to them. The discipline of positive thinking also involves self-talk. The words we speak to ourselves have a tremendous impact on our mindset. Negative self-talk can undermine our confidence, fuel our doubts, and hold us back from reaching our potential. On the other hand, positive self-talk encourages self-belief, fosters resilience, and builds a sense of inner strength. By consciously replacing negative or limiting statements with positive affirmations and empowering thoughts, we begin to reinforce a mindset of possibility and success. This shift in self-talk doesn't happen overnight. It is a practice that requires consistent effort, but over time, it becomes second nature. Another critical aspect of positive thinking as a discipline is the power of gratitude. It's easy to focus on what's lacking or what's going wrong in our lives, but when we intentionally practice gratitude, we shift our attention to what is abundant and positive. Gratitude forces us to pause and reflect on the good things in our lives, no matter how small they may seem. It is a reminder that there is always something to be thankful for, even in the midst of struggle. The more we focus on gratitude, the more we train our minds to recognize the positive aspects of our lives and to attract more of that positivity. Positive thinking also requires the discipline of letting go. Letting go of negative emotions such as anger, resentment, and regret is essential for cultivating a positive mindset. Holding on to these emotions only weighs us down and keeps us trapped in a cycle of negativity. By practicing forgiveness, both toward others and ourselves, we release the emotional baggage that can cloud our judgment and hinder our ability to see opportunities. This does not mean that we ignore our pain or pretend it didn't exist, but rather that we choose to release its hold over us and move forward with a clearer, more positive perspective. The discipline of positive thinking involves resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks and stay focused on our goals even when things don't go as planned. Life will inevitably throw curveballs, and things will not always go our way. But the ability to maintain a positive outlook, to find lessons in failure, and to keep moving forward despite obstacles is a hallmark of positive thinking. It's about seeing every challenge as an opportunity to grow, learn, and improve, rather than as a permanent roadblock. This kind of resilience requires mental and emotional strength, and like any discipline, it strengthens with practice. The more we practice positive thinking, the more it influences our external reality. Our thoughts shape our actions, and our actions shape the world around us. When we choose to think positively, we approach situations with a sense of confidence and optimism, which in turn leads us to take proactive steps toward our goals. This creates a feedback loop. The more we think positively, the more positive actions we take, and the more positive results we experience. Over time, this discipline becomes a powerful force that propels us forward and attracts success into our lives. Positive thinking as a discipline also impacts our relationships. When we focus on the positive aspects of others and choose to see the best in people, we create stronger, more supportive connections. We become more patient, more empathetic, and more understanding, which fosters an environment where relationships can flourish. On the other hand, negativity breeds conflict, misunderstanding, and disconnection. By cultivating a positive mindset, we not only improve our own lives, but also contribute to the well-being of those around us. Positive thinking is a discipline that requires commitment and practice, but its rewards are immeasurable. It transforms our mindset, our actions, and our outcomes. It empowers us to take control of our lives, to face challenges with confidence, and to create the reality we desire. Just like any discipline, the more we practice it, the more natural it becomes. And the more we begin to experience the profound impact it has on every aspect of our lives. The discipline of positive thinking is not a one-time effort, but a lifelong journey, a journey that, when embraced fully, can lead to greater joy, fulfillment, and success. Gratitude is a powerful force, often underestimated, that has the potential to transform our lives in profound ways. It's not just about saying thank you when someone does something nice for us. True gratitude goes beyond that. It's a way of being, a mindset that shapes our perception of the world and our experiences. When we embrace gratitude as a regular practice, we unlock a deep sense of appreciation for everything we have, and even for the challenges we face, recognizing that each moment, good or bad, holds the power to shape us. Gratitude shifts our focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. In a world where it's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of more success, more wealth, more recognition, it's easy to overlook what we already have. But when we practice gratitude, we consciously choose to acknowledge and appreciate the blessings in our lives, whether they are big or small. This shift in focus creates a ripple effect, leading to greater contentment and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Instead of longing for what we don't have, we find joy in what we do. One of the most remarkable aspects of gratitude is its ability to transform our mindset. When we focus on what we are grateful for, we begin to see the world through a different lens. One that is more positive, optimistic, and hopeful. Our minds become trained to look for the good in situations, people, and experiences. Even in the midst of adversity, gratitude allows us to find the silver lining, to see the lessons in our struggles, and to appreciate the resilience we develop along the way. This shift in perspective not only makes life more enjoyable, but it also strengthens our ability to overcome obstacles. We begin to recognize that challenges are not roadblocks, but opportunities for growth, learning, and transformation. Practicing gratitude also has profound effects on our emotional well-being. Research shows that individuals who regularly practice gratitude experience lower levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. Gratitude activates the brain's reward center, releasing feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, which help to elevate our mood and boost our sense of happiness. By focusing on the positive aspects of life, we reduce the grip of negative emotions and cultivate a sense of inner peace and contentment. When we are grateful, we are less likely to dwell on the things that upset us or make us anxious. Instead, we focus on the present moment, finding joy in the here and now. Gratitude also enhances our relationships with others. When we express genuine appreciation for the people in our lives, we strengthen the bonds that connect us. Gratitude fosters empathy, kindness, and understanding, creating an environment where love and respect can flourish. By recognizing and valuing the contributions of others, we build deeper, more meaningful connections that are rooted in mutual appreciation and trust. When we are grateful for those around us, we begin to see them in a more positive light, focusing on their strengths rather than their flaws. This shift in perspective leads to more harmonious relationships and creates a cycle of gratitude that continues to grow. Gratitude has the power to improve our physical health. Studies have shown that people who practice gratitude regularly experience better sleep, improved immune function, and lower blood pressure. The act of being thankful reduces stress and tension in the body, promoting relaxation and overall well-being. By practicing gratitude, we cultivate a sense of balance and harmony within ourselves, which extends to our physical health. It's a reminder that the mind and body are intricately connected, and when we nurture our minds with positive thoughts, we also nurture our bodies. Gratitude is also a catalyst for success and abundance. When we appreciate what we have, we are more open to receiving more. The more we express gratitude for the opportunities, resources, and blessings in our lives, the more we attract. Gratitude shifts our energy from a state of lack to one of abundance. It opens us up to new possibilities and creates a mindset of opportunity. Instead of feeling entitled or dissatisfied, we become attuned to the abundance around us, and we begin to manifest more of it in our lives. The simple act of saying thank you and genuinely appreciating the gifts we already possess invites more blessings into our experience. Gratitude fosters a sense of humility and perspective. In a society that often emphasizes achievement and comparison, it's easy to get caught up in the constant pursuit of more. Gratitude, however, grounds us in the present moment and reminds us of the things that truly matter. It brings us back to a place of humility where we recognize that life's greatest gifts are not always the material possessions or external accomplishments, but the love, connection, and experiences that make life meaningful. By practicing gratitude, we reconnect with the simple joys of life, the beauty of nature, the warmth of a kind word, the joy of a shared laugh, and we begin to realize that we already have so much to be thankful for. Gratitude is a practice, one that requires consistency and intentionality. It's not always easy, especially when life presents challenges or disappointments. But the more we practice it, the more natural it becomes. The key is to start small by taking time each day to reflect on the things we are grateful for. It could be something as simple as a hot cup of coffee in the morning, a kind gesture from a friend, or a moment of peace during a hectic day. Over time, as we consistently practice gratitude, it becomes a part of our daily life, shaping our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is an intentional choice, a decision to focus on the good rather than the bad, to see opportunities and challenges, and to appreciate the blessings that surround us. It is an ongoing practice that has the power to shift our mindset, transform our relationships, improve our health, and open doors to new opportunities. By embracing gratitude, we invite more positivity, abundance, and joy into our life. It reminds us that no matter what we face, there is always something to be thankful for, and that gratitude is the key to unlocking a life of fulfillment and peace. Visualizing your success is one of the most powerful tools you can use to bring your dreams to life. It goes beyond simply wishing for success or hoping for a better future. It's about mentally creating a clear, vivid picture of your goals, your achievements, and the person you want to become. When you engage in this process, you are not just imagining an outcome, you are aligning your mind, emotions, and actions with the reality you desire. Visualization is the art of seeing the future you want as though it has already happened, and in doing so, you begin to create a magnetic force that draws you toward that reality. The mind does not differentiate between what is real and what is vividly imagined. This means that when you visualize yourself succeeding, whether it's excelling in your career, achieving personal goals, or overcoming challenges, your mind begins to form neural pathways that support these ideas. It's as if you are rehearsing success mentally, which primes you to act in ways that bring that vision into reality. The more clearly you visualize your success, the more your mind believes it is possible, and the more determined and focused you become to make it happen. Visualization works because it taps into the power of belief. When you can see yourself achieving your goals, you are strengthening your belief in your ability to achieve them. Belief is a driving force behind every successful endeavor, and without it, even the most talented individuals can falter. When you see yourself crossing the finish line, receiving the accolades, or living the life you dream of, your belief in your potential becomes unshakable. This belief then influences your decisions, your actions, and your attitude, creating a positive feedback loop that propels you towards success. But visualizing your success isn't just about mental imagery. It's about engaging all of your senses. The more detailed and immersive the experience, the more powerful it becomes. See yourself not just in the end result, but also in the process. What does it feel like to succeed? How does it look when you're working toward your goal? What sounds do you hear? What emotions do you experience? And what sensations fill your body? The more real and specific you can make the visualization, the more it becomes ingrained in your subconscious mind. When you visualize your success, you also begin to feel the emotions that accompany that success. Feel the pride, the joy, the satisfaction of achieving your goals. These positive emotions not only fuel your motivation, but also help to reduce the anxiety and self-doubt that often accompany big goals. When you can vividly feel the emotions of success in advance, you begin to normalize them, making them an intrinsic part of who you are. This positive emotional connection strengthens your resilience, helps you overcome setbacks, and keeps you focused on the end goal. Visualization helps you clarify your goals and create a clear plan for achieving them. It's one thing to have a vague idea of success, but when you visualize it, you begin to break it down into actionable steps. You can see the obstacles you might face and the strategies you will use to overcome them. This process of mentally preparing for challenges means that when you encounter difficulties, you are less likely to be discouraged or overwhelmed because you've already visualized yourself overcoming them. Your mind becomes a powerful ally, prepared for whatever comes your way. The process of visualization also strengthens your commitment. When you're able to see your success in vivid detail, it becomes much harder to give up on your dreams. The picture in your mind provides you with a constant reminder of why you're working so hard, why you're pushing through the struggles, and why you're staying committed even when it feels difficult. This mental imagery acts as a source of inspiration, reigniting your passion every time you start to doubt your abilities or lose focus. Another profound effect of visualization is that it increases your confidence. When you visualize yourself succeeding, your mind becomes conditioned to believe that success is not just possible, but inevitable. This belief in your success feeds your self-confidence and helps you take bold actions that you might otherwise hesitate to take. Confidence isn't just about believing in your talents. It's about trusting yourself to figure things out as you go. Visualization helps build this trust, making it easier to take risks, make decisions, and navigate uncertainty with a sense of certainty in your ability to succeed. One of the most important aspects of visualization is its ability to help you stay focused. In a world full of distractions and competing priorities, it's easy to lose sight of your goals or become discouraged when progress feels slow. However, by visualizing your success regularly, you create a mental anchor, a point of focus that pulls you back to your purpose. No matter what challenges arise or how many distractions there are, the clear vision of your success will keep you centered and moving forward. You can't control every aspect of life, but with visualization you can control your focus, which is often the most important factor in achieving success. Visualization also invites creativity into the process. When you envision your success, you're not just thinking about the steps you need to take. You're also opening your mind to new possibilities, new strategies, and new ways of thinking. You may begin to see innovative solutions to problems, develop new approaches to old challenges, or discover new opportunities that you hadn't previously considered. The act of visualizing success encourages you to think outside the box and approach your goals with fresh perspectives, making it easier to find solutions and stay ahead of the curve. Visualization reinforces the concept of self-fulfilling prophecy. By mentally rehearsing your success, you begin to align your thoughts, actions, and behaviors with that vision. This alignment leads to greater consistency in your efforts and actions, which naturally leads to the results you desire. The more you visualize your success, the more you begin to act in accordance with that vision, making it easier for your dreams to come to fruition. Success is not an accident. It's a result of consistent effort, a clear vision, and a belief in the possibilities. Visualization allows you to tap into the incredible power of your mind, creating a roadmap to success that transcends mere desire.